Hello, my name is Nico Fitzgerald. I studied Grand Diplôme at Le Cordon Bleu in London, and I'm now the head chef of London Stock Restaurant. Prior to Le Cordon Bleu, I was a chef, first with the British Army, and then I moved on to working for private catering. So I used to do some banqueting and finally some private events. I've always had a passion for the culinary arts. I started at a very young age with my mother and my grandmother, and I just wanted to pursue it slightly more seriously. As a junior chef, I always saw qualification from Cordon Bleu, myself and with others I worked as a mark of great foundations. As a more senior chef now, I see it as a fantastic way to judge if a chef has that knowledge, that core experience, which is going to make them a great chef in the future. The Cordon Bleu at London had this amazing reputation. All the chefs I had previously worked under rated it so highly, it was the only place really in my mind to go to. My background once leaving Cordon Bleu was to go to work for big names, so I worked for the likes of Heston and it gave me the ability to learn all sections. Once I had worked on every section, I then went off and did something a bit more small scale where I could be more creative, which gave me a good balance of strong foundations and a creative flair, which allowed me to then take on this dual role, inclusive of everything I've learned at London Stock. London for me was always the place I wanted to return to. I did brief stints outside of London after Le Cordon Bleu, but I knew if I wanted to make it at the highest level, London was the place to return to. It's where all the big names are, it's where the opportunities are, and London Stock provided that ability to progress professionally. My current role is head chef, so I oversee all the operations within the kitchen. I come up with new dishes every 2 to 3 weeks, and we, as a team, then roll that out. My job is to obviously ensure that the quality is there regardless what we're serving them. I grew up in Gibraltar. Even though it's extremely small, we have a huge influence from the United Kingdom and from Spain, which is just across the border. My mum, my grandmother, they used to cook Sunday roast one day, really traditional, and then a paella the next day. So it's about bringing together the best of every culture that we have around us, which is how I grew up, and then putting the best dishes from all those cultures on the table. Working alongside my friends from Le Cordon Bleu is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We've all been through the mill together. We know what it's like. We know what our experiences were like at Le Cordon Bleu, and we all have this shared mentality as well. Le Cordon Bleu represents to me perfectionism in all foundational skills. My day normally consists of coming in, answering some emails, unfortunately, and then getting into the kitchen as soon as I can. I taste everything that our chefs are making, and we try and work on what the day is going to throw at us, make sure that we're ahead of the curve at all times. The most challenging aspect is possibly the most rewarding as well. It's that 11 o'clock menu tasting when I check that everything in the kitchen is of the highest standard. It's also the most rewarding because I can see that what is coming towards me, what's going out towards the customer, is absolutely spectacular. When we found out that COVID-19 was going to affect us so tremendously, we had to think very fast, on our feet, and adapt. It was never a case of giving up and allowing it all to blow over. We took it head on. We changed to a takeaway service and made the most of the opportunity as it presented. There's always a silver lining to every crowd. The part of my role which I'd say I'm most passionate about is coming up with new ideas. This job gave me the opportunity to create things which nobody else had experienced before. That's our ethos of London Stock, and my passion really lies in creating that once-in-a-lifetime environment for our guests. Somebody who wants to follow in my footsteps, I would say, should really never give up. You're going to have really bad days. I always tell my chefs, there will always be a good day to follow a bad day, and you should always just keep pushing, keep working, and make the most of the opportunities presented to you. They're all learning experiences. My plans for the future are to take London Stock as far as I possibly can. I want to create a buzz about the place. I want London Stock to be on the tip of everybody's tongue.